Hey guys, what's going on? This is Alpha Omegania here, and I'm going to be showing you my very first recorded Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be on the Pokemon Online, and I'm going to show you what my signature team is at the moment. So here we go, basically. My own little standard team. I have Regis, Victini, Tentacruel, Meganium, Terrakion, and Bronzong. He's going to lead off with a Ferrothorn. I'm going to switch out from my Registeel into my Tentacruel. Tentacruel is actually a really good counter to a Ferrothorn in my opinion, and that's because he puts up the Leech Seed, and that Leech Seed is actually going to cause a lot more damage to him because he has because my Tentacruel has the Liquid Ooze. So I'm going to be giving him a couple of Scalds just to get a burn off, so it's going to do a little bit more damage to him. He puts up his Stealth Rocks and he decides to switch out. So I decide to stay in just a little bit and hopefully get a burn on this Latios that he switches out into. And thankfully I do get the burn, much to my happiness. So I think I'm going to switch out here and probably go, I think this is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to see what's going on. But yeah, I'm going to switch out into my Bronzong because I know that I can pretty much take any type of thing, probably with the exception of HP Fire from this thing. He gets a hidden power off. I'm not sure what type it is, but Bronzong takes it pretty well. So I absolutely, it's a dual screener, but it has Earthquake and Gyro Ball. And I do that primarily in case if I get a Parahax that I can pretty much take it down. So I'm going to set up my screens as he switches out into his Politoed. He's going to try to get a burn on me with the Scald, but I'm pretty much safe at this point. I'm just going to go for an Earthquake just to see how much it does. It does a pretty nice chunk, but I think I'm probably going to handle it by switching out into my Tentacruel again just to take any hits. So I'm going to try to set up some Toxic Spikes as far as I see it, because I know I can basically take the hits with the light screen up, and I'm just going to get a little bit of Black Sludge recovery also. So he's going to switch out, back out into his Latios, and I'm going to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes here. So that's going to be good. I think I'm going to switch out again, probably either into Bronzong or Registeel as far as I know. But yeah, I go out into Bronzong again, hopefully to get some damage off on it. He goes for a Psyshock, which is not really surprising. It's pretty much obvious at this point. So I'm just going to just wait on this a little bit. This team has actually done really well for me. It's helped me win a lot of battles, but every time I've overcome people, they've pretty much rage quit on me. So I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball, predicting him to go for another move, but he switches out into a Starmie, does a pretty fair chunk, so I'm going to go out into my Registeel. Now this is a very special Registeel because it's actually a Careful Nature, so it has max HP, max special defense, so it can take even like a stab fire move out in the sun as far as I know. So I'm going to go for a Seismic Toss as he switches out into his Politoed. Pretty much this is kind of like a little bit of a stalling war, but this guy pretty much put up a pretty good fight during this whole battle. So I'm just going to keep on giving him a couple of Seismic Tosses, and I think I'm going to be able to kill him off at the end of this next turn with a Seismic Toss. So that's going to be his first poke down. So he's going to go for a Focus Blast, but look how well that Registeel takes it. I just love this Registeel. It's such a good poke to have. And it's really good because this is a mixed tier team. So I'm just going to wait for him to switch out. He's going to go out into his Azumarill. I'm pretty sure that he might be Choice banded, so I'm going to Protect just to see what he does. He's going to go for the Waterfall. So I'm going to probably switch out here. I'm not sure who I switch out into at this point. I haven't watched the re-recording of this battle enough. He's going to go for another Waterfall. That's going to do a pretty hefty chunk to me. So I'm just going to set up another layer of Toxic Spikes as far as I know, or get the... Actually, I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin just to get rid of the entry hazards. So he's Gonna get so I'm gonna get rid of those stealth rocks. He's gonna go for another waterfall, take me out. So Tentacruel pretty much did a good job here as far as I see it. So yeah, that's so I'm gonna go out now into my Impish Nature Meganium, and I'm gonna give him the energy ball. It's gonna do a crap load because it gets a crit and a special defense drop, which I'm very happy about. At this point, he reveals that he has the Ice Punch, so he is not choice banded. So that's actually going to be a good sign for me towards the end of the game. So now he's going to switch out into his Ferrothorn, probably to take the Energy Ball. I'm going to see if I can get a special defense drop on that, and I do. So that's going to be pretty awesome there. I think at this point I'm going to switch out into my Victini. This is my own special Victini that I created myself. It's a Modest Nature Choice Scarf Victini, so it's a special attacker. It packs the Searing Shot, Psychic, Focus Blast, and remarkably Energy Ball. And Energy Ball actually surprises a lot of people. Usually this Victini, yeah, basically it takes a lot of people by surprise. They don't really expect it. So when he switches out from his Tornadus into his Ferrothorn, I'm going to go for the Psychic. He's going to basically be predicting that I go for the Psychic a couple more times in the game, but I'm going to be able to outpredict that later on. So I'm going to switch out into my Bronzong, hopefully to take whatever he does as he sets up his Stealth Rocks. I'm just going to try to put up maybe a Reflect and go for an Earthquake just to get some damage on it. So I first put up the Reflect. Does a pretty good job. He goes for a Leech Seed. That's going to, I think it's going to be the Leech Seed that is going to be killing me off during this whole time. So basically, he's going to kill me off with that Leech Seed. I'm going to go for that Earthquake just to get a little bit of damage on him, so it'll be easier for me to kill him off later. So next he goes for a Power Whip, and at the end of this next turn is going to be the Leech Seed that's going to take me down. So now I'm going to be able to switch out into my Victini after that little death. So this is going to be, I think it's at this point where the battle is going to be a little bit crazy. I think it froze right here, so I'm just going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. Yeah, pretty much. But I'm going to go for a Psychic. I'm predicting him to switch out because of I packed the Searing Shot. But he actually stays in, which was a great play on his part. He goes for the Leech Seed after that, but he misses it. So I'm going to have to force switch out my Victini into my Meganium just to take that Leech Seed. So he's not going to be able to do any damage to me. So I think now I'm going to switch out into another poke. I actually think that the switching out into Meganium was actually a misclick on my part. So he's going to switch out into his Tornadus, and I'm going to go for the Energy Ball. But yeah, I think I misclicked Meganium later on in this game, or I might be thinking of another battle. I'm not sure. But I'm going to switch out here, go to my Registeel just to take hopefully either the Sub or the Hurricane. The Hurricane, it takes it very nicely. So I'm going to Protect, I think, or go for a Seismic Toss. He's going to try to put up a couple of Hammer Arms during this turn. So he sets up the Sub. I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave. Yeah, I go for the Thunder Wave to try to slow him down, but he already gets up the Sub. And I remembered at the end of this game that Tornadus gets Prankster, but it doesn't really matter because he's faster anyways. So he gets off a Hammer Arm, and that still does not do anything because I still have about 4 EVs in defense. So I'm going to knock off his Sub with a Seismic Toss. He can't really do anything to me at this point, so he's going to have to switch out into a Starmie. So I'm going to try to put up another Seismic Toss just to bring it down. It gets down to really good health where I can just take it out with another Seismic Toss. But I think I'm going to Protect here just to get a little bit of Lefty's recovery. He's going to get the Hydro Pump off. Actually, yeah, so I go for a Thunder Wave. Yeah, that's what happens. I go for a Thunder Wave to slow it down. I'm kind of like losing it right now because I don't remember what happened. I didn't really watch this battle for a long time. So he's gonna switch out now to his Tornadus, so I'm going to go for another Seismic Toss. And it's just going to this is kind of like a stallsy part in the game, but it's not going to officially turn around just yet until I bring out my Choice Scarf Terrakion. So he's going to go for the Hammer Arm as I protect, and I'm just going to do that just to get a little bit of Lefty's recovery back. And I know that I can probably live another Hammer Arm, but I'm going to switch out anyways into my Victini. I think it's this part where I'm going to predict him either at this point or later on. I'm going to go for, what move was this? I go for the Psychic here, yeah. This doesn't, so he switches out into his Ferrothorn, predicting me to go for the Psychic, which was another really good play on his part. So I'm going to use that prediction later on to get some advantage in the field. So I'm going to switch out into my Meganium, probably taking damage from the Gyro Ball. It actually does a pretty good chunk to me. So I'm going to have to basically Synthesis a couple of times just to get some recovery off. He's going to continue going for Gyro Balls. That's going to do a little bit more than the last time. So I know I'm not going to really live this. So I think I'm just going to try to go for some Energy Balls just to bring his health down. So yeah, I'm just going to go for, I'm going to go for a Synthesis. I think again, I'm kind of not thinking straight. But he's going to switch out into his Latios, and I think it's, I'm going to be switching out now into my Registeel to basically Fauner it out. He's going to go for the Draco Meteor, and that'll pretty much knock out my Registeel. So now I have 4 pokes. He still has 5, but his Latios is going to pretty much die at the end of this turn. So it's getting pretty close to the end of the match now. So he's going to now go out into his Tornadus. I'm going to go out into my Victini. Now I'm going to predict his switch out into Ferrothorn. So I'm going to go for the Searing Shot, and that's going to take him out easily. So this is the point where the whole game starts turning around. This is a pretty nice rain team that this guy has. So I was pretty happy that I predicted that switch really nicely. So yeah. So now we're tied at 3 Pokemon apiece. He's going to go out into his Azumarill, and I'm going to switch out into my Meganium. I'm just going to hopefully get off an Energy Ball if I can. He's going to go for an Aqua Jet, and that's going to get a crit. So that's not looking too good for me. So it's going to be kind of weird now. So he's going to switch out again into his Tornadus. I think I'm going to go for an Energy Ball here just to Fauner out my Meganium. So his Tornadus is going to be in a pretty decent amount of health where I can just pretty much sweep it. So he's going to kill me off with a Hurricane. And I think now is going to be the time where I'm going to bring out my Choice Scarf Terrakion just to sweep the rest of his team. So yeah, I'm going to go for the typical Stone Edge, and that's going to hit him well, and that's going to knock him out. So at this point in the game, I'm just going to sweep his other 2 pokes pretty easily. Because I now know that his Azumarill does not have the Choice Band, I'm going to barely live that Aqua Jet, and I'm still going to have enough health just to take it out. Look how much I live. I live with 3% HP, so I'm just going to take him out with that Stone Edge, and he's going to go down. So now I'm going to just easily take out his Starmie because I am Choice Scarf, and I know I'm going to be faster, so that Stone Edge is going to hit, and that will be the game. So great game. Heiken Ace Zama, that's his name. So this was my first recorded battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this match. So until my next match, I hope you guys have a good one. This is Alpha Omeganium signing out.